Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about spellweaving, better known as animation canceling in like the grand scheme of things. I don't want to say this technique is more of an advanced technique, but it's definitely more utilized by like experienced players in the Archeage universe. Okay, now what does spellweaving mean in Archeage? Spellweaving is basically casting instant spells in between abilities with charges. Now, abilities with charges are abilities such as God's Whip, Whirlwind Slash, and Fervent Healing. All of these have multiple charges, meaning that you can cast them multiple times in a short time frame. Alright, so in this clip you're going to see me using this technique on one of these oogly boogly niggas. I'm currently on my alt, which is the Enigmatist. I would recommend doing this on a mage that has either escapes or is just naturally tanky, like a Revenant, because if you do fuck this up or they somehow negate your burst, you're in melee range and they will most likely fucking dunk on you and take your J's. So you're going to want to get a trip just so they can't do that. So they can't get out of what you just saw. So yeah, I'm going to slow it down for you guys just so you can see it sort of in slow motion. Alright, so here you see me God's Whip, Freezing Arrow, Freezing Earth, God's Whip, Vicious Implosion, God's Whip. Although spellweaving is way more viable on mages rather than melee, it is still possible to do with melee. It's just really hard because of the animation time on Whirlwind Slash. It's kind of wonky. It's slower than like God's Whip or Fervent Healing, as you can see. And melee benefit more from popping utility items in between Whirlwind Slashes, such as Shrug It Off and Bondbreaker, so people can't stop the Whirlwind Slash. Although the animation time on Whirlwind Slash is kind of slow, I found that this works out really well in small to medium-sized mage balls and blenders, simply because you can focus a single target and do AoE around you, so you can like manage to kill that extra healer or that extra squishy that just narrowly survived the engagement. Alright, so just to wrap this all up, if you do use this technique, be prepared for people to tell you that you have macros or some dumb shit like that, because apparently a lot of people still click their abilities or they're just stupid. Probably the latter. Be warned, you need decent ping. I live in the northeast of the United States. My ping averages around 60 to 70 in that little margin. And you're going to want keybinds that are, close together, closer to your movement keys, or just keybinds that you're comfortable with in general, because a lot of this relies on you being able to, use those abilities quickly. You need to be able to get to those abilities fast. And my last two tips for this technique is, one, to save your frigid tracks. Although you won't have as much DPS as you would if you did use frigid tracks will save your ass if they somehow negate your burst. You could throw them in a freeze meteor combo to finish them off, or you can just, freeze them just so you can get that extra freezing arrow to get your ass away. And lastly, you don't want to use this technique in large-scale PvP unless you're a Revenant, because as you can see, not really in this fight because I overgeared. Is overgear a thing? But like, these guys are way undergeared, so I can sit in melee range for days and they still wouldn't be able to kill me. But you do not want to be in melee range as a squishy mage.